Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Thank you very much for your presence. I am Alan, the International Program Coordinator here at Arquidiocesano, and I'm really glad with everyone's presence, right? So we're going to have a session about the pre-collegiate programs from Stanford, and I would like you to introduce Haley Borey from Stanford. She's going to do the talk in English, but later on, for those who need some extra support, Vivian and I will present, further information in Portuguese as well. So please, let's welcome Haley with a big applause. Thank you very much for your presence here. All the guys for the welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Alan. I first want to say that Marista School is one of the top schools in Brazil. And you have been selected. You are the top students of this school, and therefore, being in the top school in Brazil, you are one of the top schools in the world, and therefore among the top students in the world. So I first want to acknowledge that and congratulate you for all the hard work that you have been doing. Today, I will be presenting two programs from Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies. And I hope that today you realize that hard work that you have been doing, that hard studying, has paid off, that this kind of opportunity becomes available because of that. So I hope that you are very proud and realize that. I am Hallie Bodie. I am the Assistant Director of International Programs at Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies at Stanford University. And again, I'll be sharing two programs today from our department. So first and foremost, I'm just curious, has anyone been to Stanford University here before? Yeah, some hands, a couple students, that's cool. I did travel from there to come here. I want to talk a little bit about the university first. We were founded in 1891 with the mission in mind of preparing the next generation of global leaders to solve complex, challenging world problems. That was our mission when we were founded, and that is still true today. Those are our goals. So I'm from Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies. So Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies is a department at Stanford University that focuses on students that are not yet in a university, so students that are preparing for a university, so high school students like yourselves. And our mission and our goal is to prepare these students for university, to give them an idea of what it is like to be a university student, what it's like to study at a university, to help imagine that. So each year we serve more than 3,000 pre-collegiate students that are not yet at university level, that are middle or high school students, to prepare them for their university experience. And we have a variety of programs that we offer. We have a series of summer programs, an online high school. We have more than 25 years of experience in doing this and serving the pre-collegiate students. And our programs are designed to take advantage of the best that the campus has to offer, really providing students with an entire overview of everything that's available on our campus and making them really aware of the U.S. universities and what they have to offer. So some examples of this include having a program that is in our School of Medicine that focuses on that. So we really try and take advantage of the different things on our campus and make them understood by students and available to students. So today I'll be discussing two programs, the Stanford Pre-Collegiate International Institutes and the Stanford Honors Academies. The Stanford Pre-Collegiate International Institutes are best explained by saying that you kind of pack up and leave Brazil and come to me and come to stay at Stanford's campus. And the Stanford Honors Academies, these are programs where we pack Stanford up and we bring them to you and basically offer a program in Sao Paulo. So I want to explain a little bit about the roles, and again, congratulating you on being selected. So we work with the schools, and the schools have selected you based on a couple of things like English language proficiency, because our programs are fully taught in English, things like test scores, being what we consider to be academically talented or really motivated students that are engaged and want to learn something new. So again, I want to recognize that and congratulate you for being selected and being chosen with that hard work. I also want to explain EduExplora's role. So our programs are offered in collaboration. This means that basically we work with organizers around the world, and for us in Chile, in Peru, in Colombia, and now in Brazil, we work with EduExplora, and we would not be able to put these programs on without the support of EduExplora. You can see I don't speak Portuguese, so that's one of the many things that they of course help us with. But also doing things like some further selection of students, things like organizing the travel, so they put the group together, they provide a chaperone who travels with the students from Brazil and comes to San Francisco all together. However, basically once students are in San Francisco, once they get to the airport, we do take over. We Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies are in charge of all of the curricular aspects of the program, and it is ultimately a Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies program. But basically they're there to help with the logistics and again make it possible for us to put these programs on. So I'm going to get into detail now about the Stanford Pre-Collegiate International Institutes. Again, this is our program that is on campus. So some of the features of this program, and I'll get into more detail on each of these. We have expert instructors, we have an innovative classroom and curriculum. Again, we provide that introduction to U.S. university life. We have a global student body, and I'll show you all the great countries that come to us. And we're in a place of innovation. So Stanford is in the Silicon Valley. We're in the hub with all the big companies like Google, like Apple, like Facebook, and we take advantage of that as well. So our instructors are highly qualified. They come largely from the Stanford community, so many of them are like performing the latest research, or when like doing things like, for example, we have an instructor that will run a workshop on legal studies. They'll do like a full mock trial. Normally she's an attorney that is one of our professors at our law school. We have ones that are doing research on cancer, and they'll come in and do a workshop on that. So really showing you the latest research in a variety of topics. We additionally, outside of Stanford, outside of our postdocs, outside of our research fellows, we will also hire some instructors that have really unique talents. So, for example, in the past we had an instructor who came from Google to teach artificial intelligence. So really trying to bring students exciting and unique, engaging topics in a variety of subjects. Another thing that we look for, though, is they're able to work with pre-collegiate students. They can take these complicated issues, these big world problems, these big challenges, this kind of big information, and make it really digestible for students. So making it appropriate for high school students, making it engaging for high school students, getting you excited and into the subject. Our process is also, it's to provide you an introduction to the U.S. college classroom. So it is highly participatory. It's nothing like this. They're not just lecturing at you. They really want you to engage in the topic. So one of the ways that we do this is by having a small class size. So our average class size across our program is about 15 students in the workshop with the instructor. This summer it's actually even less than that. It's about 11 to 12 students per class. So the classes are small. The goal is that you can really engage with the instructor. You can ask them questions. You can kind of ask them about some aspect of the topic that you're interested in. They can give you that information. And additionally, the goal is that right away you're getting into small groups, you're working on the topics, you're conversing with your peers, and really digging into the topics. So our curriculum is very unique. For this program, you do not just study one subject. It's not like you go in and you're saying, I'm going to study math, and the whole time you do math. We give you a variety of subjects because we, again, want you to really explore the campus. We want you to become really familiar with everything that our campus has to offer. So for example, we do have a core, though, that we do try to provide to all of our students. And some of the courses in that are creative writing. It's more than just English writing. It's more about like kind of communication. We have a design thinking workshop. This is in collaboration with our design school, the D School at Stanford, in our mechanical engineering department. Again, I mentioned earlier that our mission is to prepare global leaders. We want students to really be engaging on big world problems. So we have workshops in leadership and we have workshops in cross-cultural communication. We have a workshop that's in business entrepreneurship, again taking advantage of our business school of the Silicon Valley. And then we have a logic and problem solving workshop that's unlike any math class you've ever taken. But on top of this, we pull from all of our different subjects. We try and give a sample from all of our different subjects. So for example, in the humanities and arts, maybe you'll take something like anthropology or international relations or decision science. Decision science is where we talk about why people make decisions in a certain way, or thinking about like what the risks of a particular situation are. From the sciences, maybe you'll take something like biomedical technology and see the latest innovation in biomedical technology. For computer science and math, maybe you'll take something like game design or artificial intelligence. So you really get this mixture of topics, mixture of subjects that you're exposed to. I mentioned earlier that we really want to introduce you to U.S. university life. So we do this by having our students live on campus, live in the residences that our students are living in during the rest of the year. So you're living in the same rooms as our undergraduate students, eating in the same dining halls, taking your workshops in the same classrooms. And this is to really make you feel what it's like to be a university student, to really understand what that is like. We additionally have on our campus, I had mentioned that kind of EduExplorer helps with getting you from Brazil to our campus, but once on our campus, we take over. So for this reason, we hire residential staff that helps ensure the safety of our participants. We have about a ratio of 9 participants to 1 staff member, so really making sure the students are well taken care of. And these staff are interesting because many of them are hired from Stanford. They're undergraduate and graduate students who can share information about the campus, things about what it's like to be a student there. But they're also hired from other top US universities like Harvard, like Penn, the Ivy League schools, and other top US universities. So you can ask them questions about what it's like to go to one of those universities, or what some of the differences might be as well. I mentioned that we're in the Silicon Valley, and we do take advantage of that. We have a field trip where our students go to San Francisco. They see the Golden Gate Bridge, they see the piers, some of our famous sites. They go to the California Academy of Science, which is a museum in San Francisco. This is a museum that has things about like earthquakes, about dinosaurs, all kinds of exciting things. We also do a sporting event where we take you to a Giants baseball game, or we take you to a soccer game, so that you're really getting to see the different areas of the Bay Area and the Silicon Valley. We also take advantage again of our campus, trying to really get you engaged in our campus. We have things like a trip to our digital anatomy lab. This is where students actually go to our medical school and get to go into one of our functioning laboratories that focuses on anatomy. So students, while they're there, they do this like big experiment on this gigantic computer. It's like a big table that's all a computer. They get to look at things like muscles and bones and things like that. And students that really want to be a doctor, that are really interested in being a surgeon, also have the opportunity to enter our lab and to see some of the medical body parts that have been donated to science and explore that, and learn about what it's like to be a doctor, to be a surgeon, and see the current research. We do have a global community, and I'll show you the countries in a little bit, but part of this we take advantage of as well. We have a multicultural exhibition where students from Brazil can share Brazilian culture, but also learn about all the other cultures that are on the program with them. We have the Global Solutions Project, which is like a diplomatic experience for our students. Basically, they talk about those big global problems that we are saying in our mission that we want to prepare students for. They talk about things like issues in economics, issues in sustainability, issues in education, and they can describe, this is what it's like in Brazil, while also hearing from the other countries what it is like there, and coming together collaboratively to solve these world problems, putting into practice really what they're learning in the workshops. We have an entrepreneurs panel. This is where we bring some Silicon Valley entrepreneurs in, people from big companies and from small companies who share what it's like to be an entrepreneur in the Silicon Valley, what it's like to work in the Silicon Valley. And students can ask them anything. They can ask them, how did you start a company? What are the challenges of working at a big company versus a small company? Any kinds of questions that they have, they can ask and get answers to, with the idea in mind that by the end they'll really know what it's like to work and be part of a company or a startup in the Silicon Valley. We of course have our undergraduate admissions come and provide a talk to the students, share kind of what the application process is like for a US university. We have workshops that take advantage of some of the other fun sites on our campus, things like our Hoover Tower, where you go up to the top and you can look out and you can see the whole campus. Things like our Cantor Arts Museum, where you can see like a sculpture garden as well. And then at the end of the program, our students do receive a certificate for their participation. So these are all of our countries. It is a very global program. You can see we collaborate with EduExplora in Central and South America, Mexico, Colombia, Peru. But you can also see we collaborate with others from around the world. So we have students that are coming from the European Union, students that are coming from Africa, students that are coming from Asia, from India, China, Macau, many countries, and also Australia on top of that as well. So it's really a diverse student body that we want to engage and take advantage of having. So this is a sample schedule, and I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you can start to see, we keep students very busy. Our program it begins at about 8 in the morning and goes until about 10 o'clock at night. We want every moment to be full. We want students to be really engaging in the campus, really making the most of the experience. And I mentioned earlier that diverse number of topics that we offer and kind of how students get really exposed to a lot of different topics, and you can see this in the schedule as well. So in the morning maybe they'll take game design, followed by in the afternoon design thinking, and the next day they're in a totally different area taking leadership, and the next day taking communication skills and media studies. And so the goal is to really expose students to a variety of topics and get them engaged in a variety of different topics and different interests and what the latest research might be. Throughout the program, you can see the Global Solutions Project, the diplomatic experience, where our students are working on solving those big world problems. And then you can see, of course, our fun activities like the San Francisco field trip. So that's our Stanford Pre-Collegiate International Institutes. And now I'm going to discuss a little bit about the program here, again, where we pack Stanford up and we bring Stanford to Brazil. So again, the big difference is that. So once again, we could not offer the Stanford Honors Academies without the support of EduExplora, and I'll get a little bit more into the roles in a little bit. These are available for high school students as well. We work with EduExplora. EduExplora helps to coordinate things like the flights for our instructors. They help to coordinate things like the hotels for our instructors, really the logistical aspects, things like the supplies inside of the classroom, teaching assistants, and the student enrollment. And again, going back to our mission, these do happen at local universities because our goal really is for students to learn what it is like to be a university student, to engage in those classrooms and those spaces. The program itself, though, is ultimately a Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies program. So this means that we handle all areas of the curricular experience. So things like handling the course selection, things like providing our expert instructors, things like the end of the program evaluations by students. So at the end of this program, what makes this a little bit unique is it is 2 weeks with one single instructor, and I'll get more into that. But at the end of the program, you do receive a letter of recommendation from the instructor. You really kind of build that connection with the instructor. So the courses in this program, the other program is really trying to get students to explore as much as the campus has to offer. In this program, it is single subject, so our students are, again, making those strong connections with our instructors. We do cap these at 20 students. And again, with the idea in mind of we want you to be engaging in your interests, we want you to be talking with the instructor, connecting with the instructor, and again, making it possible for them to write those letters of recommendation. The subjects, once again, are very unique. The 2 weeks is quite intensive because it is one subject. So picking a subject that you're really interested in and excited in, you'll get to dig very deep into that subject. I'm kind of curious to see your interest. So could I get maybe you to raise your hands if you're interested in business entrepreneurship? Yeah, some interest. How about like bioscience, things like cancer, medicine, things like that? Some interest in that, some good interest in that. How about things like design thinking, that kind of engineering, a lot of interest in that, okay? And maybe like game design or artificial intelligence. Yeah, some interest in that too. So these courses are unique because the first week, and I'll use bioscience as an example, but like usually the first week is kind of learning about a new topic, kind of being exposed to a new topic. So for example, we had a bioscience course on genetics, where we have an instructor who actually he was a postdoc at Stanford, and he focuses on research in like fish skin, basically, and kind of like why fish are certain colors, things like that. So he puts on a course that gets really into genetics. Students do some experiments as part of this course, really getting engaged in the topic, exploring what they're interested in genetics, learning about DNA, learning about things like that. And actually, for their group projects, they did a whole project on how caffeine affects different things, like testing the effects of caffeine in a control group versus not a control group. So really the first week is typically about getting students exposed to the new topic, getting them engaged in the new topic, finding out their interest in that topic, making the course exciting for the students, making them aware of all the things that are aspects about that topic, handling the learning piece, so that in the second week they can, again, like engage really deeply in the topic, whether it's doing experiments, whether it's in our business entrepreneurship course, putting together a company, doing those kinds of things that are actually getting them to put into practice the skills that they're learning in the course, that culminates in finally a final presentation. So yeah, we have the dates for the program for the International Institutes. Our sessions are in July. There's an early July session and a late July session. We also, for the Honors Academies, again, where we're packing Stanford up and bringing it here, the dates are in January 13th to the 24th. So that is my portion of the presentation. There will be an opportunity to ask questions, but at this point I would like to introduce Vivian. Vivian is from our collaborating organization, EduExplora, which I mentioned earlier. Vivian is going to be the country manager for Brazil, and as I mentioned, I don't speak Portuguese, so this is one of just many things that Vivian helps with related to the logistics. Thank you, Vivian.
Bom dia. Queria agradecer a presença de todos e parabenizar os alunos que estão aqui hoje. Como a Rally disse, vocês foram selecionados pela escola. Não foi por acaso, foi devido a muito estudo, muito esforço e o nível de inglês que vocês têm. E hoje vocês estão abertos a essa oportunidade que a gente vai oferecer agora. É a primeira vez que a Stanford traz esses programas para o Brasil, então vocês poderão fazer parte da primeira turma. O Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies é uma área dentro da Universidade de Stanford. Eles criaram esse departamento 25 anos atrás para atender os alunos antes de entrarem na universidade, justamente para eles entenderem como é esse universo de uma universidade internacional. E para isso eles precisam de alunos preparados academicamente, com um nível de inglês, são alunos que eles querem formar para líderes globais. Então esse é o objetivo da seleção, a gente mandar alunos para representar o Brasil com esse critério. Eu vou passar um vídeo para vocês dos alunos da América Latina. Não temos ainda depoimentos do Brasil, no próximo ano com certeza teremos, para vocês entenderem melhor como é esse universo, a motivação de um aluno que faz um programa desse, como ele abre a mente, como eles dizem, o novo jeito de aprender. Vou passar para vocês visualizarem um pouco.
EduExplora offers a unique academic experience to students who are talented, passionate, and intellectually curious.
more about the thinking, the level of thinking, the ideas and the communication.
Coming from Google, coming from Stanford, coming from some of the best labs in the entire world just to teach these kids.
I'm asking them to experiment and to push beyond what they would normally consider to be good writing.
They teach us things that are like another level. They're much like more difficult and challenging, and there's stuff that we wouldn't be able to learn or stuff we wouldn't be able to experience at school.
Es muy chévere el ambiente porque estás con gente que tiene tus mismos intereses, es agradable, entonces pues unos amigos fácil.
The thing that I've liked most about this program is the fact that I've made many new friends. I've learned so much.
Together with Stanford University and the best universities in the world, EduExplora has become the leading educational hub in South America for young people eager to learn new and exciting things.
Ha sido buenísima porque además uno aprende lo que te enseñan en el curso de distintas culturas, de los distintos compañeros que uno tiene.
He aprendido a desarrollar como mi creatividad más. He conocido más personas, tengo más amigos ahora y sé trabajar más en equipo.
It's been really great. It's a completely different way of learning. It's really fun. I just wish it were a bit longer. But you learn lots, all the kids are nice, all the teachers are really nice.
Es algo de tener mucha creatividad, de aprender a pensar, de aprender a diseñar, de trabajar en equipo.
Stanford University that we've been talking about is what are the skills that students need for the future? What are the top skills that students are going to need when they get into the workforce 10 years, 20 years from down the line? And sort of the two most important skills are creativity and collaboration.
Every year, students can participate in a 2-week academic program called the Honor Academy, held locally in their own countries and taught by instructors from leading universities with top-notch methodologies. This program allows excelling students to deepen their knowledge in the fields of their choice. Students can also be part of the Summer Institute on the main campus at Stanford University, where they can learn about different topics taught by Stanford experts. They can meet classmates from all over the world and broaden their horizons outside of classes as well, as they can explore the surrounding areas of Silicon Valley and Palo Alto.
Entonces esta experiencia para él es motivacional en la parte intelectual y sobre todo también en la parte social.
Está totalmente enfocada en su futuro, enfocada en lo que va a hacer, buscando su pasión de la vida y esto gracias a Stanford.
Estoy muy contenta de haber tenido esta oportunidad. Le agradezco a Stanford University, a EduExplora, por traernos esto a México y pues que los chavos tengan esta gran oportunidad y nosotros como papás poderla ofrecer a nuestros hijos.
By the end of these 2 programs, the students will have received a certificate, will have learned about their areas of interest, will have made new friends, and most importantly, will have had the opportunity of exploring new perspectives. EduExplora, a new academic experience.
Gostaram? O vídeo mostra, conforme vocês puderam ver nos depoimentos de alguns alunos, é um jeito diferente de pensar. Então são programas exploratórios, onde o aluno leva para o resto da vida deles. Então não só numa universidade, mas no mercado de trabalho. Então são assuntos que servem para todos os alunos. Eu vou explicar um pouco qual é o processo que acontece. Como a Halle falou, todos os programas são feitos pela Stanford, os instrutores, o material, os temas, certificado. A EduExplora é responsável pela parte da organização, da logística. Então eu vou explicar para vocês como é o passo a passo daqui para frente. Agora em junho e depois em agosto a gente vai ter o Talent Search, que é uma prova. Não é uma prova para selecionar, todos que estão aqui já estão selecionados. Eu vou explicar. Depois, em outubro, a cerimônia de premiação para a entrega dos certificados. Em janeiro, o programa que vai acontecer aqui em São Paulo. E em julho, a viagem. Vou entrar em cada um para explicar direitinho. O Talent Search é uma prova que ela serve para nivelar os alunos. É uma prova para os instrutores conhecerem melhor o perfil de cada um. A partir do momento que você faz a prova em 2019, você tem direito a aplicar para os programas de 2020 e 2021. Então, essa prova tem validade de 2 anos. Tá? Essa prova acontece em algumas datas. Não são temas que precisam ser estudados, porque as provas são de matemática e lógica ou de inglês. Então, o aluno pode escolher aquele que se sente mais confortável. Não é necessário fazer as 2 provas, pode escolher só uma, Porém, se o aluno está na dúvida em qual das duas ele acha que ele vai sair melhor, pode optar pelas duas. E se a gente precisar usar o ranking das notas, a gente vai selecionar a melhor das duas notas. Todos têm que participar dessa prova, independente de qual programa quer aplicar. Então, agora, ninguém precisa registrar para os programas. Agora, só precisa saber se quer continuar no processo para participar da prova. Tá? A prova também é para todas as idades. A gente já tem 4 datas abertas agora em junho, porém, nós vamos abrir uma data em agosto aqui na escola. Então, quem quiser esperar para fazer em agosto, vai ser em meados de agosto, provavelmente dia 17, a gente ainda vai confirmar, mas vocês vão receber no começo de agosto um comunicado da data. Mas essas 4 datas já estão abertas no site, se alguém preferir já fazer agora, nessas outras escolas. A prova acontece das 9 às 11, é a primeira prova, que é de matemática, e das 11h30 a 1h30 a prova de inglês. Quem quiser fazer as duas, fica todo esse período. E o valor é $100 cada exame. Então, quem fizer as duas, $200. Em outubro, depois dos testes, em outubro, a gente vai ter uma cerimônia de premiação aqui em São Paulo, onde todos que fizerem a prova vão receber um certificado com os resultados das provas, por uma pessoa da Stanford que vai vir para São Paulo novamente para fazer essa entrega, e os alunos melhores colocados também recebem um destaque nessa premiação. Quando acabar essa premiação, final de outubro, a gente vai abrir as inscrições para o programa de janeiro. Então, no final de outubro, vocês podem decidir se vocês querem participar do primeiro programa. Esse programa vai acontecer numa universidade aqui em São Paulo. A gente não sabe ainda qual vai ser, a gente está visitando, mas vai ser numa região central para que a gente possa atender todo mundo, tá? E como funciona? Esse programa são 2 semanas e não é um programa residencial. Então, ele é aberto para as idades de 11 a 17 anos. Os alunos vão e voltam para casa todos os dias. É como se fosse na escola, das 9 às 3h30 da tarde. Tá? Tá tudo incluso, já no valor de $1.650. Material, alimentação, certificado no final, os instrutores. Só não está incluso o transporte diário. Como é que funciona esse programa? A gente vai apresentar em outubro, na cerimônia, todos os temas que podem ser abordados, que são os temas que a Rani mostrou. Liderança, design de jogos, empreendedorismo, biociências. E vocês vão escolher o tema que vocês preferem fazer. Então, são 2 semanas dentro desse tema. Então, é um curso muito intensivo, de 2 semanas, referente a um assunto. As aulas são muito dinâmicas, os alunos participam, não é uma aula, assim, uma palestra. Na segunda semana, eles fazem um projeto e, no final, apresentam para os pais. Então, os pais vão nas salas de cada matéria para assistir a apresentação dos filhos. E o que é legal desse programa é que, como fica com um único instrutor durante 2 semanas, eles fazem também uma carta de recomendação para os alunos. Então, uma carta individual, um relatório que o aluno pode usar, é muito importante para o portfólio, pode usar para futuramente aplicar para uma universidade internacional, ou para um estágio, ou para o emprego. Então, para agregar isso no currículo, além do certificado, esse relatório personalizado. Esse programa é o programa em São Paulo, e agora eu vou explicar sobre a viagem. Os programas não são vinculados, então pode escolher só fazer o local, pode fazer só a viagem, pode fazer em 2020, pode fazer em 2021. Tem direito a esses 4 programas durante 2 anos. Eles são independentes. Acabando o programa de janeiro, a gente abre as inscrições para o programa de julho. Tá? Então, a Stanford abriu 2 sessões para o Brasil, de 6 a 18 de julho e de 20 a 31 de julho. Então, nós vamos formar grupos para ir juntos. Então, os acompanhantes que falam português vão junto com os alunos, acompanhando a viagem. Chegando no campus, a Stanford também tem a equipe deles para cuidar dos alunos. Então, para cada 9 alunos, eles têm uma pessoa responsável, além dos brasileiros daí do Explore, que vão estar em contato diretamente com os pais, passando todas as informações, fotos, sempre em contato com os pais. A diferença desse programa, o aluno tem que ter a partir de 14 anos até 17 anos na viagem. E a diferença é que na viagem são abordados todos os tópicos. Como ela mostrou aquela agenda cheia de workshops, então todos passam por todos os assuntos, não é para escolher um único tema. São workshops curtos e muito dinâmicos, porque num dia você tem biociências de manhã, à tarde design de jogos, no outro dia liderança e assim por diante. Fora os workshops, eles fazem projetos, são projetos multiculturais, onde cada um pode exibir a cultura do seu país e compartilhar isso com os outros países, e projetos de soluções globais, onde os grupos vão se reunir entre os países para resolver problemas do mundo, e eles vão discutir esses projetos e apresentar no final. Tá? Além disso, eles têm o passeio no final de semana, é o único tempo que sobra. Durante a semana é bem ocupada a agenda, das 8 da manhã às 10 da noite, só voltam para as casas para realmente dormir. Então tem o passeio no sábado e no domingo para São Francisco, para algum jogo de esportes, para algum museu, e dentro da universidade também. A universidade tem laboratórios, bibliotecas, museus, então eles podem explorar essas duas áreas no fim de semana. Durante a semana também um dia é dedicado a conversar com a pessoa responsável pelas admissões. Então é a pessoa que conversa com os alunos na hora de garantir uma vaga para entrar na universidade. Porque diferente daqui, não é só prestar um vestibular e os melhores entram, não. Eles fazem perguntas, eles querem saber várias questões extracurriculares. Então vocês vão ter a oportunidade de perguntar diretamente para a pessoa o que precisa para entrar, o que você avalia num aluno para ele entrar aqui ou em todas as universidades nos Estados Unidos. O que é importante eu ter no meu currículo? Então é uma oportunidade de conversar diretamente com a pessoa e tirar todas as dúvidas, né? Além disso, eles aproveitam por estar numa área onde tem as grandes empresas como Google, Facebook, Apple, e convidam essas pessoas para aulas, para reuniões também, para tirar dúvidas. Tem essa oportunidade também na viagem. A viagem a gente vai abrir as inscrições só em janeiro, aí cobra-se 10% para garantir a vaga em março, para que a gente possa fazer as reservas, e só em maio que se paga os outros 90%. Então, quase daqui a um ano, que é o pagamento, é $5.850, está tudo incluso, a alimentação, os traslados, as aulas, tudo que tiver lá, passeios. A gente não recomenda levar dinheiro, inclusive, é só se quiser, às vezes, comprar uma recordação, uma camiseta, um livro, mas está tudo incluso. E mais para frente a gente só vai incluir a passagem, quando a gente tiver o grupo, e fazer a reserva das passagens. Esse é o site que vocês podem se cadastrar, eduexplora.com/São Paulo. Vocês vão receber esse material todo, exatamente esse material, a apresentação com o vídeo e os próximos passos para quem quiser seguir no processo. E tem um link lá. Quem for fazer a prova agora já pode se cadastrar no link e escolher uma das 4 datas. Quem não for fazer a prova agora só pode cadastrar para receber o material e esperar nosso comunicado em agosto para a gente abrir no site a data do Talent Search, que vai ser aqui.
Em agosto a prova é aqui no ar?
Isso, em agosto a gente vai abrir uma prova aqui, exato. Eu vou abrir para dúvidas, se alguém precisar ir para trabalhar, senão eu vou abrir para dúvidas. Quem tiver alguma dúvida sobre os programas, uma dúvida acadêmica, pode falar direto com a Rali, e quem tiver alguma dúvida de logística, sobre como vai funcionar o processo, pode falar comigo. Obrigada.
Eles dormem no campus ou dormem em casa de pessoas?
Não, eles dormem exatamente nas mesmas casas onde os alunos vivem durante o ano. Porque nesse momento eles vão estar de férias fora. Então são as mesmas casas, as mesmas salas de aula, os mesmos restaurantes. A vivência é igualzinha a de um aluno que estuda lá.
Qual a chance de um aluno que participa desse programa poder se candidatar, entrar e fazer uma universidade?
O objetivo do programa não é que os alunos estudem lá, o objetivo é que eles entendam como é o processo e voltem com essa motivação de eu quero estudar numa universidade nos Estados Unidos. E claro que um curso desse, ele agrega muito no currículo para uma possível entrevista, onde eles perguntam o que você já fez fora da escola, qual sua bagagem, qual seu portfólio. Então isso acrescenta muito no currículo, mas não é um crédito, uma passagem direto para lá. É para os estudantes entenderem mesmo e terem essa motivação de decidirem o que eles querem fazer e aonde eles querem estudar. Porque como a Rali disse, parte da equipe deles são ex-estudantes, tanto da Stanford como de outras universidades, como Harvard. Então, eles têm a oportunidade de conversar e entender a diferença entre cada uma. Então, quando os alunos voltam, eles voltam sabendo melhor o que eles querem. E pode usar tanto para uma entrevista lá, quanto para o currículo aqui no Brasil.
Eu vi que as provas vão ser
Sim, nós temos 10 colégios participando. Então, as provas são abertas para todos. Vocês podem ir em qualquer um desses 4 e quando a gente abrir em agosto, a gente também vai convidar os dos outros que não tiverem feito.
O programa, você comentou o de São Paulo, vai abranger 4 áreas, é isso? 4 áreas específicas?
Não, a gente, em outubro, na cerimônia, a gente vai mostrar todos os temas que serão abordados, mas eles oferecem vários assuntos. Na apresentação, quando fala dos temas, tem um link que vocês podem entrar, o link da Stanford, que vocês podem olhar quais são os assuntos, e a gente apresenta os instrutores e cada um vai escolher qual assunto que vai querer, mas são diversos.
As universidades que vocês estão avaliando são todas na cidade de São Paulo?
Sim, na região central de São Paulo. Eu queria agradecer, então, quem precisa ir para trabalhar e os alunos que precisarem voltar para a aula. E quem tiver mais alguma dúvida, a gente está aqui à disposição. Obrigada.
Pessoal, obrigado pela presença. Qualquer dúvida eu fico à disposição também. Agradecer o pessoal e parte do programa de internacionalização do Colégio Marista Arquidiocesano. Obrigado muito pela presença de todos. Vamos voltar às aulas.